Part 3, the contributory cause. The contributory cause is the spiritual master. Okay. So contributory cause or condition, it makes the condition to reveal our primary cause, the Buddha nature. So if I read this now, even though we have the excellent working basis, a precious human life, and then if we are not encouraged by spiritual masters, then it would be difficult to follow the path of enlightenment because, see, of the power of the non-virtuous, inveterate propensity of previous lives, and the force of habitual tendencies, like attachment to this life, so forth. No? Therefore, it is necessary to attend spiritual masters. So that's the reason why we need spiritual masters. Now, to discuss, to understand about the spiritual masters, the summary, reason, classification, the characteristics of each classification, method of attending the teacher, and the benefit of attending spiritual master. These 5 comprise attending the spiritual master. Means through these 5 topics, we will learn about the spiritual masters. The first reason, so why we should have spiritual master. I have enough intelligence. I'm smart enough. No need to depend on, So that he said, there are 3 reasons explaining why we have to attend a spiritual master. Scripture means the authority of the Buddha's teaching, the logic, and simile examples. First, scripture. So first, from the condensed Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, the noble disciples means who have such a great awareness, who has the proper vessel, noble disciple, so who has respect for the Lama or the Guru, the teacher, should always attend the wise Lama or wise teacher. No? Because one receives good qualities from him or her. And also another say, and from the 8,000 stanza Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. From the beginning means right from the beginning, starting. A Bodhisattva Mahasattva who wishes to achieve the unsurpassable, complete, perfect enlightenment means Buddhahood. Should meet the spiritual master, and you examine the qualification of the teachers, so forth. Then should attend, means then receive teachings. And pay respect means then you practice Dharma teachings. So this should meet, attend, pay respect. This each has a profound meaning. Know why it's put that way. Respect to a spiritual master. So that's the scripture, what Buddha said about why we need to attend spiritual master. Now logically, why we need spiritual master. One who wishes to achieve the omniscient state knowing everything, should attend a spiritual master because of not knowing how to accumulate merit, like how to practice Dharma teachings. Like, for example, 6 parameters, we don't know, no? Or how to purify obscurations. When you have strong anger, you don't know what to do. First place, you're just being angry, no? Or attachment. When you have strong attachment, we try to feed the attachment instead of how to deal with it, how to purify it. So that's why I say, no, all the modern, or not only modern, all the time in the samsara, they give you advertisement, how to feed your attachment. If you get this, you'll be happier. If you do this, you'll be happier. No? So to grow your attachment, to grow your desire more and more. That's why look at your closet. How many clothes you have? Every morning it takes about half an hour what clothes you wear. You choose, push all, you see. Actually you need 2 pairs, 3, at most 5, no need more than 5. It makes like a monk, it makes very easy. I've been wearing this for months. With the big gathering, I wear this. With the nothing gathering, I wear this. No? When you meet important people, I wear this. No? So see, no? That's so serious, no? That we don't know, no? How to do things, how to really make happy ourselves. So to purify the obscurations. So Dharma is, that's why it's wonderful, Obscurations. The positive illustration of this is the Buddhas of the 3 times. All the Buddhas of 3 times, they met a proper teacher who has excellent qualities. They receive teachings, they practice bodhicitta, and they achieve enlightenment. And on the other hand, or on the other side here, on the other side are solitary realizers. They didn't have teacher. They just, through their own investigation, and they seek their own liberation. So they didn't have good teacher. Because of that, they achieved that much. Now to explain further, you see, in order to achieve the complete, perfect Buddhahood, all the accumulations, including merit and the primordial wisdom, means wisdom, the accumulation of merit and wisdom, must be gathered. You have to gather those 2 accumulations, like through doing frustrations, purification of Ajasattva, mandala offerings, like those, through those, you gather merit and the purifies, include, be gathered. The means to do that depend on the spiritual master. So spiritual master has to show, don't do frustration this way. This is how you take refuge. This is how you do mandala offerings, so forth. All the obscurations, including afflicting emotions and the subtle obscurations to enlightenment, must be purified. So all the mental afflictive emotions, as mentioned, ignorance, anger, attachment, pride, jealousy, and so forth, this all depends on the spiritual master who has a skill, who can explain, not just read the text. No. The method to abandon these obscurations also depend on the spiritual master. So that's why it is logical. When you go to school, you need a teacher, isn't it? Even you go to kindergarten, you need a teacher. Elementary school, high school, college, university, all you go to, you need a good teacher. Who has a good understanding, like a science, mathematics, who has a skill. The student get a good benefit from that. Not just only degree, certificate, but the personality need all those qualities. Isn't it? We all agree that, isn't it? See, one may have very high certificate, but doesn't have good quality. Stays 1 year, 2 years, and get out of that. Certificate is one thing, but most important thing is the ability, the quality of the individual. See? So there's the logic now. It makes the logic why we need good spiritual master. Now simile here, third, the examples. A spiritual master is like a guide when traveling to an unknown place, 1. Like an escort when going to a dangerous place, 2. And like a boatman when crossing a big river. So there are 3 similes, 3 examples giving. The first explanation of the first simile, when an individual traveling to an unknown place without a guide, nowadays you get the map, isn't it, or introduction. So if you want to visit such place, you have this thing to see. Or you say, we have a tourist guide, when you go to places. So they give you good information, where to go, what to see. So like that, see. When traveling to an unknown place without a guide, there is a danger of mistaking the path. No danger of mistaking the path, of losing the path, or straying from the path. So there are 3 things can happen if there's no guide. When a good guide is followed, then there will be no danger of mistaking the path, no danger of losing the path, and no danger of straying from the path. We will reach our destination without wasting any steps. So that's the simile or example. Now similarly, when entering the path of unsurpassable enlightenment and going the way of Buddhahood, on the way to Buddhahood, without Mahayana spiritual master. So here is Mahayana spiritual master. As a guide, then there is a danger of getting lost on the non-Buddhist path, of mistaking the path for that of hearer Sharavaka, or straying to the path of solitary realizers. If there's no proper guide or Mahayana teacher. On the other hand, if the guidance of the spiritual master is followed, then without mistaking the path, losing it, or straying from it, we can arrive in the city of omniscient enlightenment. It is said in Sri Sambhava life story, spiritual master is like a guide who leads one on the path of perfection, the enlightenment. So that's the first example or simile. That's clear, isn't it? Now, the second simile is of the dangerous place which holds the threat of harm from robbers, thieves, wild beasts, and so forth. When going to such places without an escort, with like a bodyguard, there is danger to one's body, life and wealth. With a proper escort, one can reach the destination without any danger. Likewise, by entering into the path of enlightenment and aspiring to the city of omniscience, by gathering the great accumulations of merit and premortal wisdom, without a spiritual master as an escort, there is a danger of losing the life of favorable conditions, like refuge, ordination, like your any precepts, like a bodhicitta, life of favorable conditions, and of losing the wealth of virtue, the virtue you have accumulated, you regret it, to lose. Wealth of virtue to thieves and robbers. There's a metaphor. The robbers of your wrong view, robbers of the ignorance or attachment, anger, those. The inner discursive thoughts and the afflictive emotions, the robbers of the inner discursive thoughts and afflictive emotions, and the outer maras, evil spirits, and so forth. It is said, when the crowd of robber-like emotion gets a chance, it will rob all your virtues and will even take your life in favorable conditions. This is stated in the Bodhicitta Avatara. But if you are not separated from a spiritual master who is like an escort, you will approach the seat of the omniscience without losing your wealth of virtue or having your life of favorable conditions taken away. Thus it is said in the Sri Sambhava life story, all the merits of bodhisattvas, like bodhicitta, will be protected by the spiritual master. The life story of Upasika Akala Mewa says, each spiritual master is like an escort who takes you to the state of omniscience. Remind you your mindfulness, awareness, practice of bodhicitta, purifying all the afflictive emotions. That's where you develop step by step. Eventually you become Buddha. The third simile, when crossing a big river, a boat without a boatman, you will not cross to the other side because the boat will either sink under the water or lake or be taken by the river current. So without a boatman, that happens. Likewise, when crossing the ocean of samsara without a spiritual master to act such a boatman, then even if you enter into the boat of the holy Dharma, you will be carried by a current of samsara or will drown in samsara. First, we're interested to start some Dhamma study, practice meditation. So wonderful, I like this. And you do some meditation, few weeks, few months, few years sometimes. Then your mind doesn't change so much. Then you feel, this is just wasting my time. No, I'm not interested. Then you leave behind. And then we sink under the ocean of samsara, or carried by the current of the river of the samsara. No. So we need a spiritual master to always remind us to practice Dhamma. No? It is said, the boat will not take you to the other shore of the river without a boatman. If you're simply just in the boat without the boatman, then the boat will not take you other side of the river. Even if you are the complete qualities, you will not be free from the samsara if you are without a lama or teacher or guru. No? So therefore, if you attend a spiritual master who is like a boatman, you will reach the dry bank of the nirvana on the other side of samsara, other side of the ocean of samsara. Planting the noble stock, Sutra says, a spiritual master is like a boatman who crosses the ocean of samsara. Therefore, you should attend spiritual master who are like guides, escort, or boatmen. So this is this. Now, why we should have a spiritual master? No, through the scripture, Buddha's teaching, through the reason, logic, and through the examples, through the three things. Explain. Now you think of yourself. See why I need. Now next, classification. Now, how many different types of spiritual master we can expect? There are four basic classification of spiritual master. The ordinary spiritual master, 1. The Bodhisattva spiritual master, 2. Who has attained certain bhumis. The Nirmanakaya spiritual masters, means the emanation party masters, 3. And the Sambhogakaya spiritual master, 4. These 4 types are related to an individual's spiritual realization. It depends on how much you have realization, how much you have progressed. One who is ordinary or just beginning, one cannot attend Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who have attained higher level as spiritual master. So one attend an ordinary spiritual master when one's karma obscurations are more masters. When one's karmic obscurations are more purified, one can attend a Bodhisattva spiritual master. Karmic thick obscurations are purified, then one is more eligible or has the ability to see the spiritual master who are Bodhisattva. So who has attained higher level, Bodhisattva is high level. After one accomplishes the great accumulation path, means there are 5 paths, no? The path of accumulation, path of the application, special insight, meditation, and perfection. So first path, one can attend Nirmanakaya spiritual master, and one can see the Buddha. When one attains the Bodhisattva's level, means achieve the first bhumi above, one can attain the Sambhogakaya spiritual master. This is like, when you go to kindergarten, you have a teacher related to that. Elementary school, you get a teacher related to that. When you go to college, you get the teacher related to that, relation to that. When you university, and you know, so just like that, So understand that. It's logical also, Now from this, what is most important for us? I said, of these four, who is the greatest benefactor? Helps us. When we are in the obscuring darkness, our obscuration is so thick, man has no any idea what's right, wrong, so forth. So dark, the darkness of the karma of afflicting emotions. We have no opportunity to even see the face of superior spiritual masters. Buddha, Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, of course not. Even great Bodhisattvas are difficult to see because of our obscurations. So how could we attend one? So if we cannot see their face, how we can attend them as as our teacher? By meeting ordinary spiritual master, receiving the light of their teachings, and shining it on the path. When we meet ordinary spiritual master who studied, who practiced some, who understood right and wrong, virtue, non-virtue. So from that state, we get share their wisdom. They tell us, these are the 10 non-virtue to avoid. These are the 10 virtues to practice. These are the 5 precepts to keep, so forth. Then we slowly learn, it makes sense. So you follow. Then we purify our obscurations step by step. See? That's what it's saying here. The light of their teachings and shining it on the path means we progress on the path. One will gain the opportunity to see the superior spiritual master. Then step by step, more we purify our karmic obscurations. We then start gaining to see the Bodhisattva as a spiritual master attend. And then when we free from samsara, become following the Bodhisattva's path, we get chance to see the Buddha Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, so forth. So therefore, the greatest benefactor for us is the ordinary spiritual master. So ordinary spiritual master is so important for us at the beginning. So through their kindness, I got this light, the light of the Dharma. So appreciate, rejoice. Even though they may have a lot of problems, weaknesses, but we appreciate how much we got from that. If they have weaknesses, it's their problem. No? Okay. Now, characteristic of each classification. See, Nirmanakaya and Sambhogakaya, spiritual masters, having purified the 2 obscurations, the gross obscurations or afflictive emotion obscuration, which prevents the liberation, and the subtle obscuration for the enlightenment, they are fully purified obscurations. Buddha embodies the perfection of the purification. So that way Buddha is embodiment of perfection of the purification. Possessing true omniscience wisdom, knowing everything, their nature as it is, and knowing everything. Omniscient wisdom, true wisdoms. Buddha, he or she embodies the perfection of primordial wisdoms. So that's the definition of the Buddha. So it's a spiritual master. Bodhisattva spiritual masters, Bodhisattva spiritual masters who have attained higher levels above first bhumis, say levels from the first to the 10th bhumis. There's all kind of bodhisattvas who achieve the different levels. Possess varying, so depends on the different levels, varying amount of wisdom and purification. In a particular, bodhisattva who attain levels above the 8 possess the 10 power to benefit other beings. The power over life, mind, provision of necessities, cause or the action, birth, intention, 6, aspiration, 8, praying, 9, 8, it looks like, miracles, and wisdom, awareness, and dharma. Those are 10 now. Anyway, now each explanation here. What means power over life? No, power over life means one can live as long as one wishes, needed. No, 100 years, 1,000 years, whatever needed. Like Nagarjuna lived 600 years when it's needed, Power over mind means one can maintain the meditative concentration as long as one wishes. When we meditate, start meditating, and then again another thought comes, and the attention takes another place. Cannot sit still, Power over provision of necessary means one can shower down a rain of limitless necessities on sentient beings if it is needed. Now this Bodhisattva has that ability, but also, it's very important. We sentient beings also have to have the karma to receive that. If you have no karma to receive that, then Bodhisattva or Buddha alone cannot do. So all interdependent, the philosophy of interdependent. Power over cause means one can shift the effect of karma from one particular life to another sphere, world, realm, or birth. So karma, they're supposed to ripen this life, so Bodhisattvas has a power to postpone for the next life, or the 2 days for next day, on this year to the next year. But Bodhisattvas cannot ignore the karma, have to accept, have to come and let it be, but has a power to postpone, or all the karma just bring up and experience now. Power of birth means one can maintain meditative concentration, and if born in the desired world, one will not be affected by its falls. Now, when Bodhisattvas have the meditative observation of the form world, Bodhisattvas can born in this desired world, having the ability of the form world meditative absorption, and then manifest all the activities without losing that state of the mind. Power over intention means that one can change whatever one wishes into earth, water, fire, and so forth. Just like you can see easily in the Milarepa's life story. He walked through the rocky mountains. And one time, he himself transformed into a lake. when a group of people came to see Milarepa and they didn't see him. So where is he gone? And one individual threw a rock where the leg is. He was there before. They didn't know. They didn't realize Milarepa transformed into a leg. It's not like that. Power of aspiration means that if one aspires to perfectly benefit oneself and others, it will be accomplished, because the eighth Bhumi is called the perfection of the aspiration. Power of a miracle means one can exhibit innumerable manifestations in order to cause sentient beings to be interested in the spiritual path. Like Milarepa displayed his miracle power so much to Rechungpa, him to follow into the path. Power of wisdom awareness means one has perfected the understanding of phenomena, their meaning and definition of words and confidence. Knowing all those teachings. So this is what. Power of a dharma means that in an instant, bodhisattvas can fully satisfy all the sentient beings according to their dispositions and in their different languages through words and grouping of letters based on many different types of sutras and so forth. But the bodhisattvas can communicate depending on the level of the sentient beings without making mistake. What's the need of the individuals? So these are the bodhisattvas now, the characteristics of the bodhisattva. Ordinary spiritual masters, there are three types of ordinary spiritual masters. Those who possess 8 qualities, those who possess 4 qualities, and those who possess the 2 qualities. Concerning the first, those who have 8 qualities, the bodhisattvas, bhumis, this is written by Asanga. One should understand that the bodhisattva who has 8 qualities is a perfect spiritual master. What are the 8? One who possesses the moral ethics of a bodhisattva, so one keeps the moral ethics. It's very important. Means keeping the bodhicitta in the heart. For lay people, it's based on the 5 precepts. For ordained, then are other Vinaya precepts. It's a lineage in the Bodhisattva's teachings, who has a good scholarship in the Mahayana teachings, different. Having all the skills of the scholarship of those teachings. Possesses realization, then means keeping the bodhicitta into the heart is the realization. Possess compassion and kindness. Because of bodhicitta, that bodhisattva has great compassion, kindness to others. Like for example, when Marpa treated Milarepa so badly, outwardly looks very bad image, but Marpa's compassion was so powerful. He wants Milarepa to achieve enlightenment in one lifetime by the power of that compassion. He treated Milarepa skillfully. Because of that skill, compassion, Marpa made Milarepa the most successful in the human world. That's kind of called compassion, kindness. You want others to do better. Sometimes you use harsh words. You just say you're not doing enough. So you want to see the others doing better. kindness, compassion, kindness. Possesses fearlessness, no fear, because it's not related to the individual, oneself. If I cherish myself and build my own things, then I have a reason to fear. Maybe I will lose this, maybe I will lose that. But if I do completely for others, for example, then whatever you're doing is doing for others' benefit. There's no fear. Especially based on compassion, wisdom. When you have compassion to all the sentient beings, it's like prayer we're saying in the beginning, all the mother sentient beings, especially those enemies, obstructors, strong compassion you have, and you have no fear. So there's a bodhisattva, the compassion is that. Fearlessness, this fearlessness is based on not arrogance, not arrogance, but based on wisdom, compassion. Possesses patience, means forbearance. Just doing continuously, because the patience based on the again is fearlessness related there. Possesses an indefatigable mind, never discourages. Because of that, possesses indefatigable mind and expert in verbal expression. Means indefatigable mind means indomitable courage. Indomitable courage. So these are the 8 qualities that ordinary bodhisattvas should have as a master. Then has a great skill of expressing Dharma teachings. The second is described in the Ornament of Minor Sutra, that what you are studying now. Possessing great scholarship, because you have studied extensive minor, the sutra teaching, minor teachings that Buddha taught. Great wisdom. And dispelling doubt. When someone has a doubt, has a skill to dispel. Whatever he says is acceptable, because he behaves as a bodhisattva. It's the acceptable, that's how. Distinguishing the two realities, the reality of samsara and the reality of the nirvana. Distinguish, this is a samsara, this is a nirvana. Sometimes when you study a lot of Mahamudra, Dzogchen, sometimes you cannot distinguish. You are mixed. Everything is fine. Let all afflictions just come out, display, that's fine. And then you have no idea what to practice. When we don't have basis, foundation, good ground, and then confused. From the viewpoint of the ultimate nature, yes, they're same. But from the relative point of view, there's a distinctive. This is samsara. This is nirvana. No? So these 4, you see. Possessing the great scholarship, dispelling the doubt, whatever he or she says acceptable, and distinguishes the two realities, these 4. This is a perfect bodhisattva spiritual master. Now it's a short description here. Possessing great scholarship refers to being able to give more extensive teachings here because of vast wisdom. Studying of all the many sutras of the bodhisattva. The spiritual master can dispel doubt because he or she has profound discriminating awareness, knowing right things, what to avoid, what to accept. His or her words acceptable because his action is pure virtue, keeping the, all the morality, the Vinaya morality, the Bodhisattva's morality are kept well. Maybe not 100%, at least like 60%. No? So the student also has the same responsibility. Have to keep the morality. Respect the morality of the teacher. It's not just alone the spiritual master's morality or responsibility. He explains the primary characteristic of afflictive emotions, of samsara, and of their purification for nirvana. So this is the second. The third is portrayed in engaging in the contact of bodhisattvas, bodhicitta avatara. A spiritual master is always expert in the Mahayana teachings. First of all, having a good understanding all the teachings of the bodhisattvas supposed to study, practice. That one. And then he or she will not abandon the bodhisattva's vow, even at the risk of his own life. As earlier mentioned in the confidence, not giving up your dharma because of the attachment, aversion, fear, ignorance. In other words, a spiritual master is learned in Mahayana vehicle, has a great scholarship, and holds the bodhisattva's vow, keeps that. So that also makes a good spiritual master. So at least you see, this two has to have. So this is how important. See now, when we make journey, how to choose the spiritual master. Sometimes the teacher may bring a very good certificate, but may not have the quality. Some may not have certificate, but have the perfect qualities. So, as an individual, the student's responsibility has that, also to seek the good teacher who has that qualities, not go to just emotionally. Whether that is good or not, you like it because he or she fits your emotion. But look at the first impression. So these are now first why we should attend the spiritual master, and what kind of spiritual master is there, and what kind of the quality, the qualifications of the spiritual masters are necessary, described so carefully,